Good morning, everyone. Lanon Adebayo, good morning. Mofelola, good morning. Kennedy Festus, morning. Tobinsin Ade, Victor Ogundikwe, morning. Tokumbo Talks, good morning. Rochelle White, morning. Glory Baye, good morning. Eric Osadolo, good morning. Flair Karim Matip, good morning. Ujo Lakwe, good morning. Ikifa Francis Oyedeji, morning. Adeola Disu, good morning. Winifred Akpan, good morning. Okay, Baba today, morning. Happy Sunday morning. Tina Ante, Tena Ante, Shegun Lawal, Modupe Oshuola Le, Princess, good morning. Atkins, good morning. Gladys, thank you. Kifa, thank you. Daniel Atsenga, good morning. Ufoma, good morning. Shigo, good morning. Mayowa, good morning. Olukayode, morning. Nkiru, good morning. Oluwatoyin, good morning. Oluwayomi Adedeji, good morning. Welcome back. John Lucky, good morning. Anthony Prasad, morning. Macau, Penisoni, good morning. Olabode Thomas, morning. Thank you, buddy. Good morning. Jacob Sale, welcome back. Ladi Shorunke. Now, let's go ahead and share our link today. Let's go ahead and share the link for this message. We know the way we do it. Let's look for the share button. Look for the share button and let's go ahead and share the link as fast as possible so that we could directly go into the message. Okay, here we are. By the way, I want to use this opportunity to talk about tonight. Tonight is going to be a testimony time. I have somebody in my house today, who got a copy of this book, Nigeria and Only God Can Save Nigeria. Only God Can Save Nigeria. What a myth. Only God Can Save Nigeria. What a myth. Was acquired by a friend of mine who is a pastor himself and a businessman and a PhD guy. So he's very advanced guy, but he's not a Nigerian, even though I call the book Nigeria, Only God Can Save Nigeria. But this man is not a Nigerian and he's my house and he's read the book thoroughly, in and out. And even he's from another country in Africa and he says, you know what? This book is for my country. This book is for every country in Africa. It's for every country, not just in Africa, every country. And so I'm going to invite him tonight. And I want to invite all of you. So if you have not yet ordered your own copy of this book, it might be the most important book you ever read in your life. Because Reverend Joseph Oyewole, they wrote Oyewale in his name instead of Oyewole. So we have to tell somebody to fix that. So Joseph Oyewole of South Africa had written that in his entire years of ministry as missionary, that he had never read a book written with such a passion, intensity, and authority. Joseph Oyewole is always here, and he read this and he gave this comment, and many other comments as well. So if you don't have that book yet, you need to get your own copy either from Amazon or from Okada Books. But we are going to examine it. I want to really hear what this man of God will say today. And I know him. He's a very thorough man. So I want to invite all of you to come back tonight because you are going to be blessed by the analysis that we are going to be doing tonight. I'm just going to set him loose and I'm going to let him dissect the book for you and what he's going to do and what is going to change in his life and how the book has changed his life already, actually. So, okay, here we go. Today's topic, of course, you know we keep on talking about love this week. I divided it into two parts. The first part of love that we spoke about this week was how love turns to hate. How love would often turn to hate, right? So we spoke about that, how love turns to hate. And then the second part that we are dealing with now is the right and wrong understanding of love. How do we know the difference between the right and wrong understanding of love? Today, however, the topic is going to still be about love, but it's going to be on difference between love and illusion. Ooh, that's a tough one. That is a tough one right there. That is a tough one. Difference between love and illusion. Difference between love and illusion. Wow, wow, wow. Do you know a lot of times what we call love might actually be an illusion? What we call love sometimes might actually be an illusion. And unfortunately, many people don't know the difference between love and illusion. As a matter of fact, we trade love for illusion. As a matter of fact, what we call love often is just an illusion. It's just an illusion. And that is why we experience so much pain as a result of love. And that is why, love is something that is almost like tragical comedy for a lot of people, for a lot of life. And so that's what I want us to talk about today. How do you know if what you call love is real love or is just an illusion? What would you say gives you the assurance that whatever you are experiencing or whatever your understanding of love is, that is correct? In most cases, the understanding of love that most people have is just illusional love. Let me tell you my own story about illusional love, almost delusional love. I was growing up in my village in Africa, the village of Idomila. And while there, as a young man, 15 years old, I got caught up under the influence of my schoolmates and classmates and just one particular guy that came from Lagos, and I've been in the village all my life. Lagos is like it's like going to New York. So somebody came from Lagos to live in the village. I mean, he knows everything. He's the authority. I mean, he's the one to follow. He dresses well and he speaks a better fashion of Yoruba better than I was speaking, and got a good accent, and then he wore glasses. Ooh. Everything to make a guy cool. The guy was very cool. So all the village boys like me, we got an authority at last. And of course the village girls, all of them were following on each other to date this guy. He was teaching us and telling us all kind of stories. We didn't know they were all made up stories. We didn't know he was just telling us lies we didn't know, it just was impressing us with it. We were used to the fact that when people say something, that's what is true. And it was so convincing. We didn't know Lagos boys know how to tell stories, fake stories, lies. Anyway, with that guy is how my worldly aspect of life started. That is how my discotheque life started. Because he was the one who introduced the concept of discotheque to us, that disco. So he would go to disco and come back and then tell us all his exploits after the disco. All his victories. So I like a challenge. So I took up that challenge. And I started going with him to discotheque and girls and boyfriend, girlfriend, all those kind of rubbish. So this ended up in experimenting, of course. So that is how, lies about love. So in one of my favorite songs, and this is getting to the topic I want to talk about now. One of my favorite songs was, I think it was one of the Americans. I think it was an American. I don't remember now, but I still remember the song. I still remember the tone of the song. It was saying, "Give me your unconditional love." Something like that. "Give me your unconditional love." Maybe somebody will remember. There's a song like that that says, "Give me your unconditional love." So he's singing about unconditional love. I don't know, either it's Nightingale or something, or I don't know. Somebody sang a song about unconditional love. Ooh, how I love that song. And so it was a disco kind of song. And we were all singing that song in this disco, in discotheque and all that. So this unconditional love song was not just popular, but, it formed our concept about love. That love, if somebody loves you, it has to be unconditional. And Donna Summer, okay, Obi is from that generation. Obi Ojibadu. Obi Ojibadu remembers. Obi Ojibadu and people like Jessica Johnson, they know who sang that song. Dotun Alabi, yeah. Maybe they are still, either they are from that generation or they remember it. Bolaji Martins also remember that song. Okay, I have forgotten now. I've been lost in the church for too long. Yet today you will remember it as well. Anyway, well, that was my generation. Princess as well remembers. Well, now you know where I'm coming from. I'm sure all of you are disco girls, disco boys. So that word, unconditional love, just stuck to my mind. Give me your unconditional love. So, and it became a weapon in slaying the ladies, You are promising them unconditional love and demanding unconditional love from them. But to cut a long story short, it's just all deception. It's all a lie. And what I discovered now, and let me tell you this now. And the way thoughts, information, ideas can influence you and you begin to believe it is unbelievable. And we don't even question it. Do you know that even while I've been doing this week, and while I've been doing this thing this week, that there has been someone or people who have written me about unconditional love. And people still believe that the unconditional love concept is right or is possible. But really, the concept of unconditional love is actually an illusion. The concept of unconditional love is an illusion. It's not possible. There is nothing like unconditional love. And I'm going to prove it to you, okay? I'm going to prove it to you. Let us just, let us just let us just examine it, okay? Let us just go through it right now. Let's say a husband and a wife, or a man and a woman, he say, I love you. And he say, okay, I love you with unconditional love. Well, you know what that means? That means I, as a man, I am telling a lady, I love you with unconditional love. Then the lady says, okay, is it not unconditional? It's unconditional. So don't demand that I come to see you at a certain time. If it's unconditional, even if I don't come, you still love me, isn't it? But we have an appointment. Obi Ojibadu is saying, Obi Ojibadu is saying, shy pastor. You finish me. I have a living testimony. I used to own a nightclub. My job was to gather people, but now I gather people for God. Can you believe it? That's why he knows the song. He used to own a nightclub. Wow. Anyway, so unconditional love. Can you imagine this? You just go follow me. I tell a girl, I love you unconditionally. And unconditionally means unconditionally. That means I said, let's meet at 9 o'clock or 7 o'clock. And she said, okay. Then at 7 o'clock comes, she doesn't show up. Then I begin to ask her questions. Why is it that you didn't come? We agreed for 7 o'clock. She said, well, I didn't come because I don't feel like. And I begin to, get worried and concerned. And she said, but you say you love me unconditionally. Why are you worried? It's unconditional love. You are supposed to be happy. It's unconditional. Is that what unconditional means? That's one. Let's take another example. I know this for a fact. I know a woman, that was told that she was loved unconditionally like this as well. This was a Christian girl and a Christian man. And the man is saying, I love you unconditionally. I love you unconditionally. Okay? Unconditionally? Unconditionally. Then when they got married, the woman refuses to sleep with him. For 7 years, she would not go to bed with him. And he became depressed. He almost ran mad. It almost became a mental situation. A psychiatric situation. Why? So, but you said it's unconditional love. Why are you running mad? So this man started running to pastors, between pastors to parents to relatives here in Ukraine. But you had said it's unconditional love. And the lady said, but I had vowed to God that I will remain a virgin for the rest of my life. Oh, but Wahala don't break, oh. Catastrophe don't reach. You did what? I vowed to God I will be a virgin for the rest of my life. I'm married to Jesus. I will never have sex with anybody. But so why did you marry? He told me that he loves me unconditionally. So no condition. It doesn't matter what I do, what it does. No condition. He said he will always love me unconditionally. The man started rolling on the floor. My life don't spoil. My life is destroyed, though. Unconditional love is not existing. So the man that is saying, I'm going to love the lady unconditionally, and the lady say, you cannot touch me. You can't touch my body. Unconditional love started turning to anger love. Unconditional love started turning to catastrophe love. So now we started asking the man, what do you mean by unconditional love? He said, I didn't mean it that way. You see, we are not thinking. When we are using words, you say unconditional, it means no condition at all, which means you are ready to love her and live with her, even if she will not sleep with you. You are ready to love her and live with her, even if she will not agree to do anything for you. Okay, can you imagine now? You marry a woman, another example, and you told her, I love you unconditionally. This is an unconditional, unconditional love. And apart from the fact that she will never sleep with you as a wife, as husband and wife, because you say unconditional, you always love me. She will never clean the room. She will never make the bed. She will never cook for you. She will never, she will never do anything for you. And you are saying, because I love her unconditionally, I will keep on loving her. She doesn't wake up in the morning. She doesn't cook. She doesn't go to the kitchen. You are the one to be doing all that. Is there anything like unconditional love? No, because love is always reciprocal. You should remember that. Love is something that is reciprocal. Love is always reciprocal. Love is always reciprocal. Love is something that commands a reaction. Love always commands a reaction. Love always, it demands for. Love always demands for a proportional response. So love is something that demands response, and the response it demands is always proportional. So to now say, there is unconditional love, which means I don't have any condition. I don't demand anything. I don't ask for anything. You don't need to do anything for me. Unconditional. Even, the purest kind of love that we have in this world is the mother's love. All right? There is no love. There is no love that is as pure as mother's love. Do you know, even the mother's love is conditional. Every form of love is based on some condition. Okay, for example, let's take a mother's love. Do you know why a woman is ready to go through the pain of 9 months of pregnancy? Do you know why a woman is ready not just to endure the 9 months pregnancy, but why she wants to also go through the excruciating pain of pushing, of birth, of, unbelievable, even cesarean section, even anything. A woman is ready to go through anything to give birth to her son or to her daughter. You know why? Because of condition. Because that is not an unconditional love. It's because she's expecting that child, she's having hope that child will grow up and compensate her back and become a source of joy. That child will grow up and become an encouragement to her. That child will grow up and take care of her and help her and, go out with her. And she's doing all that because of what she could get as a result of the birth of that child. She is doing all that because of the joy she will get, the pride she will get, and the status she will attain as a result that she has a child. So that is condition right there. Okay, let's do another thing. Why is it that your parents are sending you to school? Why is it that your parents pay for your school, primary school, secondary school, high school? They clothe you, they buy everything for you, and then they call you and say, Charles, they want to talk to you, and you say, Mama, what is the right you have to call me? You cannot talk to me. Who are you to call me? Your parents are saying, I grew you up. I give everything to you. I cannot even call you. Or can I visit you? Mommy, who are you to visit me? Don't ever talk to me anymore. But you have done your job. You have given me education. You have sent me to primary school, secondary school, university. I'm now on my own, so I don't need you anymore. Don't talk to me anymore at all. So is it possible? Would that be, what would happen to that woman? What would happen to that mother? No matter how much that mother loves, no matter how much she loves her son or daughter, she will begin to get angry. She will begin to get mad. She will begin to be frustrated. And you know why she will be frustrated? Because she's expecting a reciprocal love, a reciprocal reaction, reciprocal response from the son. Because she was investing and putting everything she's got in her life in that child, so that that child will also be a source of love and a source of joy to her. So if any child or son will treat the mother like that, with rejection and with disdain, that mother will not be happy. That mother will be angry. That mother will be offended, even though that is the purest form of love. Now, why is she annoyed? But you don't have the right to be annoyed, Mom. Why are you annoyed, Mother? You don't have the right to be offended. Why should you be offended? I'm expecting you to love me back. Why? Did I ask you to give birth to me? Did I ask you to love me? Behind it, or subconsciously, she's expecting to be loved back. Even though some parents say, I don't need anything, I just need to give back to my child. I don't need, even if the child will never say thank you to me, even if the child will never respond, I just want to give back to a child, I will take care of everything, I will take care of him, I will do this, I will do this. But as soon as that child begins to grow up, that same woman that was saying unconditional, nothing, I don't need anything from you, she'll begin to expect at least good reaction, good response, at least a response of respect, honor. Every parent expects their children to honor them. Every parent expects their children to thank them. Every parent expects their children to respect them. Every parent expects their children to be grateful for what they have done to them. Every parent expects their children to give back to them. Why? Because love is always conditional. Love is always conditional, my friend. Love is always conditional. Love is always conditional. Love is always conditional. Love is always conditional, my friend. Love is always conditional. Love is always conditional. There is nothing like unconditional love. There is nothing. There is nothing like unconditional love. Hey, friend, wake up. Wake up from illusion. Wake up from illusion. Nothing like unconditional love. Nothing like unconditional love. If there is anything like unconditional love, you wives, like you tell me something, you ladies. Why do you complain that your husband goes to work and doesn't come back on time? Why do you complain? That you cook all the time? You cook breakfast, lunch, dinner all the time. You cook every day, and he never comes back on time to eat your food. Why do you complain? Why don't you just keep on cooking? Why don't you just keep on cooking and let him keep on neglecting you? Why are you complaining? You think you deserve to complain? Of course you are complaining because you are showing him love. And you expected a response. There is nothing like unconditional love. It's just like saying that you say you are loving your husband, I love him so much, I'm ready to do everything for him. Then he doesn't come home to sleep. He goes to work on Monday and then doesn't come back till next Monday. And he just comes back for 5 minutes and says, oh, I'm gone again. Where are you? Oh, I'm with the neighbor, the lady that is down there. That lady that is down the street. That's where I will spend the weekend this week. And that next weekend, I'm going to spend it with the other lady down the other street. And then, your best friend, I'm going to be sleeping with them for the next 1 week also. Why are you offended? Why are you angry when a man behaves like that? But I'm your wife. But I'm your wife. I love you. But you said you love me. Why? Why is it you don't just close your eye and say, okay, sleep anywhere you like. I love you unconditional. You sleep anywhere you like. Go. You don't need to eat my food. You don't need to come back home. You can disappear. I love you anyway unconditional. How many of you ladies are ready to do that? How many of you ladies are happy to be those kind of wives? Do you want to love unconditionally? Would that be a good Would that be a good option for you? Would that be an example of perfect unconditional love for you? Would that be a good example of unconditional love for you? Hmm? How is that unconditional love? How do you like that one? Of course, it's not possible. Unconditional love will always demand. The reason why you do everything you do when you love is that you will get something back. The reason why you are so kind, the reason why you are so, you are so committed is because you want a response. You need a response. Every one of us needs a response. And when you are investing, we want to get back. When we are giving, we want to receive as well. Whatever we are doing as an act of love, we want to be compensated. We want to be, to be appreciated. If not immediately, but later, at least you know that sooner or later you will be compensated or you get something for it. So if there is no unconditional love, if there is unconditional love, can you imagine that there is unconditional love? So if you think you have unconditional love, why is it that you don't go and love the man down the street the same way you are loving the person in your house? Why is it that when your wife calls you that I've arrived, maybe you people don't practice that, but here, if your wife says, please meet me at the gate, I've arrived, I need to, why is it that you go to meet your wife or your children, or you take, there's a good example. Why is it that you take your children to school, you take your children to kindergarten, to classes, to nursery, to school, you drive them to school. Why do you feel obligated to drive your own children to school? Why is it that you don't go and drive the neighbor's children to school? Or why is it you don't go from every house to house and every street to street and be looking for children? You think it's only your own children that have a need to be driven to school? You think there are no other children in town that might be having the same need to be driven to school? It's because of conditional love. Because these are your children. And you are invested in those children because of your responsibility to them. And if you do the same thing for everybody and you don't do it to your own children, it's like everybody will say you are insane. Even though you can do that to other people, but why is it that you don't neglect your own and go and do for the other one? Because love is always demanding response. Because then you'll be able to tell your child, listen to me, go do that, go do that. Then he would listen to you. Then you can demand something from him and he will obey you. Then you can expect him, you can be rest assured that since, I've served my family and since I've done this, I've done that, I can also ask them to do something back to me. Why is it that you don't get mad when the lady down the street doesn't come to cook for you? Why is it that you don't get mad? Because that's not the person you love. But when your wife does not cook for you or doesn't not give you food to eat, you got mad. Why? Because you love her and because you think she loves you, and so you have a reciprocal relationship. And you woman, why is it that you don't get cross at the other man down that street because he doesn't come to pick you up? He doesn't come to take you to work and drive you to work? But if your husband does not do that, you get mad at your husband. Why? Because he's supposed to be loving you. Reciprocal love demands response. Love demands response. Love demands responsibility. Love demands responsibility. So if there is anybody who claims to love you, that person is, don't live in illusion that person is just going to be giving to you, taking care of you, doing this for you. If you live in that illusion, you will be broken very fast. Because that person soon is expecting that you also behave to him the way he wants, what he expects to receive from you back as well. So, tell me about illusional love. It is illusional for you to think that the person who says he loves you is the one that has the obligation to make you comfortable. So if you are thinking, well, he says he loves me, so let him make me feel comfortable. And you're thinking that, since a person says they love you, they have the obligation to just make you comfortable and you don't need to do anything. That is an illusion. As a matter of fact, yes, there is comfort in love, but it's not just comfort there is in love. It's illusional for you to think that love means comfort at all times. True love sometimes could be uncomfortable. But we live in deception, thinking that if he loves me, he's only supposed to be a source of comfort to me. If he truly loves me, he's supposed to just make me feel good. Or that, oh, wow, really? Really? Oh, wow, tell me about that one. Wow. For real? He's supposed to do what? To just help you, make you feel comfortable and nice and feel good all the time. That is an illusional love. It is illusion. Yeah, it is delusional, actually, to always think that anybody that loves you is supposed to be doing things the way you want. That is delusional, and that is illusional. He might have his own concept. He might have his own understanding. He might have some other expectations from you. If you don't learn to listen to him, if you don't learn to understand him, if you don't learn to obey and comply with what he is thinking and be able to get, into the same page, it's going to end up very painful. Yeah. Love could be painful as a result. Illusional love will always end up in pain. Illusional love, delusional love will always end up in pain because you have thought that it's supposed to always be giving you comfort. It's supposed to be always making things easy for you. It's supposed to always make you feel good. And that is illusion. And that illusion will break. That illusion will come down crashing. And that illusion is going to bring you a lot of pain because that person that you expect to always make you feel good, that person that you expect that it should always make you feel comfortable, he has his own feelings as well. He has his own expectations as well. He is a human being as well. He has his own mindset too. He has his own worldview. So that is why love must always be reciprocal. And that is why love must always seek to understand what the other partner is saying. And so love demands that you tame your desires sometimes. Love requires that you be able to lay down your desire for comfort at times. Love demands that you would even tame your desire for comfort as well. So while you are holding back your desire for comfort, while you are holding and taming your feel-good emotions and feelings, while you are taming it, it's painful. While you are holding back your feelings for good or for comfort, it's painful. So those are the pains that you have to endure just to give consideration to the other party. Those are the pains that you have to endure just to make other person to give a place for the other person to also process his own situation and his own circumstances to be able to also expect something good. Now let me tell you something. If you would think that love means that the other person will always make you feel good, when will you make him feel good? Because every time the other person is making you feel good, it means the other person is giving to you, sacrificing for you, giving to you, sacrificing for you. And if the person is giving to you, sacrificing for you, and you are just expecting and concentrating on that your feeling of feel good, of that your comfort, on that thing that you are experiencing, whenever the person doesn't do what you expect, whenever it doesn't make you feel as good because he needs to do some other things. Maybe he needs to go to work, maybe he needs to show love to his family, to his mother, or to his colleagues. Maybe he needs to also do some other commitments that he has. But if you think that, but you love me, your commitment should only be to me. You love me, your allegiance should only be to me. Then the guy said, when will I go to work? When will I, get food for the table? Okay, I can sit with you at home and make you feel good, but then don't complain when there is nothing to eat at the end of the month, okay? Don't complain when there is nothing to go to the shop with, okay? Don't complain when there are no new clothes, no money to pay for the electricity and for the water. Don't complain, okay? Because I make you feel good. Make you feel good. Those are illusional love. I used to think, why is it that, and this is a fact that many young people still don't understand. Why is it that passion leaves marriage? When everybody that has ever been in love, the passion, the strong feelings that we have when we're in love, the passion that we have when we're in love, and it lasts only between 3 months to 3 years. It doesn't last more than 3 years. So that's why people say love dies or love has disappeared, love has evaporated. But it's not really love that has died, it's the passion that has died. Now, and maybe it didn't die, but it has disappeared or gone down. Why is it that passion leaves marriage? Why is it that passion leaves relationship? Why is it that this passion leaves? Why is it that this emotion leaves? The reason is because, can you imagine when you are really in love? When you are really in love, you want to be with the person that you are in love with almost 24 hours. Now, God knows that. And that is why after your marriage and after your honeymoon, that passion, that love begins to go down gradually, begins to disappear gradually. Why? Because if that love does not disappear, if that passion does not go, you will not be able to do anything. You will not be able to go to work. You will not be able to function. You will not be able to relate to other people. You will not be able to, our whole life will collapse just because somebody is in love. And that is why God will not make you to be under the power of emotions. God will not submit you to become a servant of emotions. God does not want you to be a servant of passion. So God doesn't want you to be ruled by passion. God wants you to rise over and above passion and be able to put your passions under some principles that will be able to guide you and make you to be able to tame yourself, to be able to tame your emotions, and be able to to have a healthy relationship and healthy thought and build a healthy love. But illusion and illusional love wants to make you to always feel. I want to always feel it. You know what? Let me tell you something about love as well. Love doesn't always feel good. I'm sorry. Love does not always feel good. So some of us will think that they love me when they make me feel good. Yes, there are some certain times when love will make you feel good, but love could also make you feel painful. For example, if you say that, okay, if you really love me, you all make me, you not cause me pain. Oh, right? You think so? If they love you, they will not cause you pain. Well, if that is your philosophy, that is an illusion. So as long as that person does not do what you want, as soon as that person begins to do something that is painful to you, you begin to think he doesn't love you. No. Sometimes pain is the greatest expression of love. Sometimes pain is the greatest expression of love. For example, let's say you just married and you are in your honeymoon, and your husband needs to go to work on Monday. And you say, don't go, I love you, please don't go. But do you know why he will need to go? And what about if he needs to go to another country to work, or another city to work? What about if he needs to go for a week or a month or a year to go? No, but you don't love me. If you love me, you stay with me. Don't go. But only if he goes, he will be able to feed you. Only if he goes, you'll be able to have a house to live in. Only if he goes, he will be able to supply your needs and buy you clothes and things like that. But you say, no, but it's painful. I don't want to be without you. But it's painful. Stay with me. Illusional love, my dear. Illusional love. Illusional love. That's just an illusion. Because it's not realistic. We are living in a real world. Or some people say, if you love me, I don't want you to look at other women, or I don't want you to look at other men, or I don't want you to have any relationship with another person. So if I love you now, which means if I love you now, so I should now go and scatter my church and just let the church go so that no woman will be in that church. So if I love you now, I should now go and have a men only church. Or if I love you, I should not greet any other woman again in the neighborhood. Even my own mother, I should send her back to the village. You say, it's not realistic. Those are illusional love. Illusional love. So there are men also who do that. Can you imagine there are men who say, if they marry a woman, they make her sit in the house. You have to sit in the house. You cannot go anywhere. Why? Because I don't want you to be tempted. I don't want any man to look at you. Wow! No man should look at me? No man? Then you have to have a room only for her so that she will never even go out of that room. She should never go to shop. She should never go to church. She should never go to anywhere. It's an illusional love. It's an illusional love. It's an illusional love. So there is a difference between illusional love and real love. There is a lot of people are living in illusion and thinking that they are living in love. So when we say that if you love me, you only make me feel good, comfortable. If you love me, what did I do? When we say when you love me for real, you should never tell me anything that I don't like. Then how will you endure the truth? How will you ever know the truth? How will you ever? Because it's just like, I've seen that a lot. And if you tell them, you know what, honey, that cloth might not be the best for you. Could you change it? So you don't love me. Oh, yeah? Okay. Then go out that way. Let the whole world laugh at you. Love it will be different. Yes, love has comfort in it. Yes, love has good feelings in it. Yes, but love also could be painful sometimes. We don't just expect love to be according to our own dream, to be according to our own expectation. In the stories, they are happily married and whatever, happy thereafter or something, or happy. Is it what they call it? Do you say happy thereafter or happy forever or die together in one day? All those, those are just illusions. Those are just illusions. Happy, they just, in films, in films, what happens in films? They just married like this. You can't, in films, the marriage love always ends up in one way in films. You married, came out of church, or they all carried her, she's in white, and you are holding her up on the hair, and then the film just stops. Ooh, they were. Then the thing is writing. Then the subtitle is saying they were happily married and lived, happily thereafter and forever or something. Happy ever after. Yes, happy ever after. Happy ever after, and they died in one day. Oh wow! Oh wow! Really? Happy what? Happy ever after? Are you sure? Really? Happy ever after? Okay. They didn't tell you about all the arguments and the disagreements they had. They didn't tell you about the truth they had to tell each other. Okay. Happy ever after. And a lot of people have those kind of textbook and romance. They have those kind of textbook and romantic book kind of expectation of love. That's an illusion. Some of people have the Hollywood and Nollywood kind of expectation of love. No, that is an illusion, my friend. Those are all illusion. So, because if you are having that kind of feeling, and that is the expectation that you have for love, it's an illusion of love. And so, people, so if your friend or your wife or your husband travels somewhere and it doesn't buy you something, then you'll be angry. Because, oh, why didn't you buy me something? I mean, things happen. Things, you're supposed to buy, but maybe he didn't buy, you know. Learn to live without things sometimes. Oh, why didn't you remember my birthday? Okay, it's good to remember your birthday. Of course, it's a good thing to remember your birthday. He has to remember your birthday. But that guy, sometimes he doesn't even remember his own birthday. Sometimes he doesn't even remember his own birthday. Oh, it means you don't love me. Okay, if that's your conclusion, okay. Okay. So when he doesn't remember his own birthday, he doesn't love himself. So, when it comes to love, things will happen. Things will happen. Of course, he should remember your birthday. Of course, he's supposed to remember his birthday too. But, some people are not organized. Some people can just forget. Why? Because he's human. Because we're really living in the real world. Okay, why is it that you didn't smile at me today? You offended me. How? Oh, but you passed me by and you didn't smile. Oh, okay. Did I need to now walk about like this so that I could smile all the time? Get rid of illusional love. Get rid of illusional love. So he cannot tell you what is right. He cannot tell you the truth now because you will get angry. If you live that kind of love where nobody tells you anything that is painful, so they will avoid telling you the truth. And if they don't tell you the truth, you will die one day, because it's just like saying that you have cancer and you don't have pain. And so you don't even know. Nothing suggests to you that you didn't lose weight. You are not losing weight. You don't not experience any pain. Nothing suggests to you that you are having a problem. You just wake up one day and you're dead. And that's the same thing in a relationship. If you don't speak the truth to each other, if there are things that are wrong in your life or in your character, and you are not open to listen to it, and you just say, oh, you are hurting me if you tell me those things. So they should only be telling you the good things you want to hear. One day the relationship will just collapse, just like cancer. The relationship will just get worse and worse, and it will collapse. They need to tell you what is true. They need to, let tell you what they don't like. They need to be able to tell you what you are doing wrong and what you could change. And you need to be able to listen to each other's opinion about one another, even if you don't like it. So don't live in an illusion of the fact that people have to only treat you in a certain way, the way that you expect. And if they don't treat you that way, it means they don't love you. Another illusion that people live in is that we think that people, the person who says he loves us has to always give us something, has to always perform. If it is only one person that is performing, that is making you feel good, and that is always doing something to you, one day we'll get tired. One day we'll get tired. One day, you have to also give sometimes. So love is not only when I'm receiving. Love is not always when someone is giving to me, when someone is showing me love. It has to be reciprocal. I have to give as well. Love is also when I'm sacrificing. Love is also when I'm giving back. So you are supposed to be able to not just receive love, but give love as well. And when you are giving love, when you are sacrificing, it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be painful. So it's not just when you are giving. Okay, when you are receiving is pleasant. But when you need to give from yourself, it means you have to sacrifice your time, you have to sacrifice your comfort, you have to sacrifice maybe your resources, your money. So sacrifice is part of love. So love is not just about receiving, about feeling good, about being blessed. For you to bless others, you just have to sacrifice something or the other as well. So illusional love just wants to receive. Illusional love just wants to get. But in a relationship, love is give and take. Real love is give and take. And another thing about love, and what could be illusional most of the time, is that a lot of people illusionally build their relationships on what other people are doing to them. And they make their happiness and their joy be dependent on how other people treat them. But your joy and your happiness should actually be coming from your within, from your heart. So if you are going to just depend and make your joy and your happiness in life be dependent on how people treat you, you are going to be a very frustrated person. Because your mood will just be changing like this. One day it's good, one day it's bad, because people are different. People behave differently. And even that same person that you think is a good person and is a perfect person who is treating you well, could treat you well today, but tomorrow it could offend you. So we have to hinge our lives to the internal love that is inside, to the core of our values that is inside of us. Let your core, let your value system, let your joy inside be the source of your joy. Let your relationship with God be the source of your joy. Let your truth, the truth that you know, the principles that you live by, be the source of your joy. Don't let a husband or wife be the source of your joy. They could add to your joy. Or even children, don't let them be the source of your joy. They could add to your joy, but let the source of your joy be God always. Let the source of your joy be truth, God's truth always. That will secure you. So it will not matter what is really happening all around you, or how somebody treats you or didn't treat you. That will not determine your mood or your joy all the time. Your joy will always be, you will always be balanced. Your joy will be dependent more on the one that says that I have come to give you life and to give you more abundantly. So hinge your life on God. Hinge your life on the word of God, on God's truth. It is illusion and it is delusional to always expect man or woman, children, husband, whatever is happening around us to be our source of joy. If you want to make things around you to be your source of joy, it will be painful. You will always experience pain, because men are not perfect. Women are not perfect. Humans are not perfect. Humans change. Things will happen in life. So, if you are expecting your wife or your husband to be your source of joy, you will always end up being a frustrated person. You will always end up being disappointed. You will always end up being painful. Things will always be painful because they have their own thinking. They're thinking about different situations differently from you, or the same situation. It could be the same situation. You expect them to behave this way, but they behave the other way. You expect them to do this, they do the other thing. You expect them to say one thing, they say the other one. Why? Because of their worldview, because of where they're coming from, because of what they understand. So their reactions and their attitude might not always fall in line with what you expect. And if that is what now determines your joy, if that is now what determines your feelings, then you'll be a wreck. You'll be a wreck, because that is going to happen every day. People are going to have different opinion than yours. People are going to behave and then how many times people have said to other people, how could he, or how could you, how could he, but how could he? He could, because of where he's coming from. I remember when I just married, my wife, would cook. She used to cook. The first 3 years she was cooking before I stopped her from doing that. So she used to cook. She would cook, and while she has cooked, she will put the food on the table. And I was a young man. She put the food on the table for herself and for myself. She puts mine first, and then she puts her own, or she might not put her own. She goes to do something else. So she has put the food on the table, and she goes to maybe to wash or to just do something, and she goes back to the kitchen doing something. And I'm sitting down there looking at that food. I said, where is she now? Princess, oh, I'm coming. You know what? Okay. Well, she has her own plate now. She has her own food, And I've been coming from work. I've been waiting all day to eat this food. I just said, sometimes I don't even think anything. It's just instinct. I see food on my table. I just begin to eat. Then she comes. Problem problem come out. I didn't even know. I just keep on eating. So I then say something. I'm trying to converse with her. No response. Okay. Another problem has started. Oh, wahala don't scatter out. So I never used to know what was happening. I used to say, but everything was good just a few minutes ago. What happened? It's later on that, I began to realize that she expected me to wait for her so that we could eat together. Oh, wow, why didn't you say it? And she would be saying, how could you? How could I? I don't know how I could. I don't know how I could. But you tell me. If you tell me, I will change. So in the beginning of our marriage life, I didn't know things like that. So she had to tell me, because you tell me your expectations. Because if you don't tell me your expectations, I didn't know what you were expecting. I didn't know and that happens in marriages a lot. Many men, they are just crude. Many men are just raw. Like me, I was raw from my own village. I was raw from my own, with all my imperfections. So I never knew I was supposed to wait. If I could wait, I thought if she's ready to come, she will come and eat as well. But, okay, please, I'm sorry. But sometimes the woman will not even tell you what is the problem. So when they don't tell you, you don't know you are causing her pain. And so love, it takes understanding. You need to communicate. You need to be able to. You don't say the person he doesn't love you. Oh, because he's eating before I came, he doesn't love me. No, maybe he just doesn't know. So what we say, how could he? How could he not do this? How could he not understand that? Okay, for example, don't you know when I was doing this, when you were doing this, I did this for you? Oh, you did? But why didn't you do it for me? I never thought about it. That is just how life is, So you better express yourself. So love has pain in it. Love has disagreement in it. Love has different aspects that, that you don't always predict, that you don't always expect. So, yeah. What I'm just trying to say is that, we should separate illusions from love. We should separate illusion from love. We should separate illusion from love. Don't expect everything to be perfect. And don't expect anybody to be perfect. And don't expect anybody to behave just the way you want. Don't expect people to just do everything right all the time. The things could happen in life. They will do some things right, they will do some things wrong. So that's why your source of joy must be God always. Your church of joy must be the principles that you know, the truth that you know, the relationship with God that you have. That is a better assurance of joy than just to put your joy, your hope, and the source of your joy, your expectation in another man. Men will always let you down. So even God's love is not unconditional. We think that God's love is unconditional, but God's love is not unconditional. There is no unconditional love. Nothing like, for example, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. But that love is conditional. Why is it conditional? If you receive my son that I gave, for that you will not go to hell, okay, then you will go to eternal life. You have eternal life. But if you refuse him, that's condition right there. You go to hell. It says, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish. Which means if you don't believe in him, you will perish. That is condition right there. So even God's love is conditional. God loves everybody. He gives good. He sends rain and sun to the good and the bad. But if you keep on refusing to respond to his love, if you keep on refusing to reciprocate his kindness and to accept him and what he has done for you, you will go to hell. That is condition right there. The Bible says that love those who love, don't just love those who love you, love other people, but the Bible also tells us the consequences, what will happen. So he says, what you sow, you reap. Why? Because life is just like that. It's reciprocal. Everything is conditional. There is nothing like unconditional love. So if God's love is conditional, what will you say about humans' love? Humans and God, everybody, all love by nature is give and take. Love by nature is reciprocal. Love by nature demands that you don't just receive. Sometimes you need to give. So don't live in illusion and don't expect your joy and happiness to come from another man. Let your joy and happiness come from God, because God is in you and is the source of our lives. And even with Him, your love shouldn't be something illusional. You are thinking that it's going to be only with the way you think. No, maybe the way you are thinking is not even right. Maybe your expectations are not even correct. So, separate love from illusion. Well, anyway, I don't know if you have shared the link. If you have not yet shared the link, please let's go ahead and share the link to this program so that you could have a copy. So let's go under your video. You will see under the video somewhere here, you will see the link, or you will see the button. Go and press the button. Let's go ahead and press the button. Go ahead and press the button, the share button, and get a copy of this message. Share the link. Share this message. Let's share the link. Let's share the message. Let's go ahead and share the link. Let's go ahead and share the link. Once you have shared the link, let me see what you are writing. I'm going to read some of your comments, and that will be the end for this morning. And tonight, don't forget that tonight I'm going to devote to this book, Only God Can Save Nigeria, and to my friend who is here from another country and who has read that book, even though he's not from Nigeria, but he says the book is for every country and for his own country as well. So, what do you think about this message? Let me hear your thoughts. Let me hear your thoughts. Let me hear what you are thinking about this message. Lola said love can be painful too. Oh yeah, that's exactly the point. Boniface Hart says understanding makes marriage work. Yep. Understanding is the key. And Flair Karen Matip say yes, communication. The understanding of might be different, but communication will help balance it. Yep. Gladys also talks about the importance of communication. Nkiro Jibadu said, yes, I have learned with experience to say it all out after understanding that my husband cannot read my mind. But sometimes we expect them to read our mind, isn't it? Sometimes you say, well, how do you think opposite? How will he not understand? You are thinking that what you are thinking is what the other person should be thinking as well. That's illusion. That's illusional love. He doesn't understand what you are thinking. Or you have to tell him what you are thinking. You've got to share your mind with him. Otherwise, he will not understand. Daniel Oshoma said, again, we have different upbringing. One might come from a family that is posh, whereas the other from a poor background. It takes time and sacrifice to blend. Dolly Umu said, quite understood. Kadie Fofona says, yeah, for sure, we're all from different backgrounds. Daniel says it is worse when husband or wife does not voice out their feelings. That could kill a marriage. Yep. Felix says marriage requires total patience, tolerance, submission, endurance, and overall understanding. Felix, even God gave his love conditional. Yeah, even God's love is conditional. He gave his only begotten son, right? That's what I said. For Lashade, many men are just very crude and raw, and likewise women too. Love has different aspects and cannot be predicted. Separate illusions from love. Emphasis is to focus on God's joy on your daily basis. Christy Bassi, love by nature is give and take. Gladys says the same thing. Princess says, Shy, I have to tell Donna Summers to change her song. Eric Osadolo says the same thing, that love is to take and give and take. Pastor Tayo says, Pastor, all your teachings are validating most of my discoveries and thoughts. God bless you, sir. You rock. Prudence, you'll be frustrated if you expect your husband to do just the way you want. It will end up in pain. Daniel Oshoma said, I think the modern day women have different opinion about marriage than our mothers who used to withstand rain and sun to sacrifice for the family. Shegun says, love isn't feeling. Felix, a Pastor Sunday, thank you so much for the wonderful message. Please, this should be just part one of this beautiful message. Yes, I'm going to continue tomorrow on love. Vivian said, there is no such thing as unconditional love. Love expects a return on its investment. Expectations are there. It's not always given, but sacrifices is part of love, and pain in love is because love is not unconditional. Tell someone your conditions so they can change. That is so good. Boniface Hart, no unconditional love. That's a new revelation for me. Thanks, sir. Gladys said, to my understanding, sir, love is in between two godly people. Well, love, it's better. Marriage is between godly people, but love could happen between anybody almost. Julia Fortune said, between husband and wife, there should always be communication, which will lead to more understanding. But most times, some women expect their men to be their mind readers. And if they fail to do that, then they assume they are not loved. That is an illusion. Thanks, Pastor Sunday, for this powerful message. I will watch it over and over again so that I could bless others with it. Ekundayo says, love is giving and taking. It is better to give than to receive. Love is conditional, right? Edwina Wala says, how about where you as a lady give more? You've got to express your desires and your want to the other party. Christina says, unconditional love does not exist. It's an illusion, right? Boniface says, wisdom demands continuous communication in relationships. Yeah. Felix, this is a life-changing message that can transform many marriages. Paul Awodele, God bless you, sir, for your labor of love on this platform. Thank you. Jolomo White, I am not very good with date, Pastor. I sometimes even don't remember my birthday until it has passed. It was not really a big deal to me until I got married to someone who doesn't joke about it. I learned by force and by fire. Yeah, I know. Olusegun Akinde said, no perfection in man. Don't rely on human being to be your source of joy. Jeanette John, unconditional love is painful and we need to understand ourselves, right? Tina Ante, Dr. Adelaja, thank you so much for this inspirational message. Prudence, before now, I used to think in my prayer, thank you, God, for your unconditional love. Lack of knowledge is a great sickness. Thank you, Pastor Sunday, for this truth. Nkiro Jimadu says, Pastor, you are making women put off their pink glasses and their illusion. For Lashade, sometimes when you say what you are thinking and it's not going down well with the other party, what do you do in such situation? Sometimes, it depends on how you say it, and your emotion might have, messed up the perception of the other person. So it might be better to just write what you think, so just write the main points without emotion. Sometimes it's not about what you said that the other party doesn't want. It's about the emotion that you put in it. And that emotion could bring about, frustration. Gladys, we need understanding, communication, sacrifice, forgiveness, respect, and our relationship with God to be on love. More grace, Pastor. Kate, assumption that he knows my mind causes problem. It's good to say what we mean and mean what we say. Blessing to you, Pastor. Obi Ojibadu said, it was through God's unconditional love that I was reformed from a nightclub owner to a church pastor. I used to be a DJ. Now I spin the Bible. I used to rap and sing, and now I preach and teach. My wife and I will be on this program with Pastor Sunday next week, Sunday, and this will be part of my testimony. A big thank you to Pastor Sunday Adelaja. That's Obi Ojibadu writing. Moji Sola said, communication is very important for most your relationship. Assumption leads to misunderstanding, but because of our different backgrounds, this causes problem. But in all, understanding is the word. So next Sunday, like the next 8 days, we are going to have Obi Ojibadu here and the wife, Nkiru Ojibadu. So we'll be expecting you guys to join us. That's in the evening. Ernest Ebong said, this message is an eye-opener. The concept of unconditional love is being taught in our churches today, but it is truly an illusion. It was a great message. Thank you, Pastor. Sandra said, thank you so much, Pastor, for correcting our thoughts on love. Love is conditional. It has good and painful side. It is not illusional. So when we experience pain in our relationship, it doesn't mean we are not loved. God bless you, sir. Christina Lampe, isn't better to go in an arranged marriage then if the passionate marriage will end? Well, you have to agree among yourselves. Jolomi White, from my understanding of these topics now, illusional, parasitic relationship, one-sided benefit expectation, why genuine love is symbiotic relationship. Brilliant. Two-way benefit, right? Egbon Martin says, thanks, Pastor. There is no better medicine to cure the wounded soul than to love the soul of God and other. Love does not judge. Hallelujah. Felix Efe, thank you, Pastor. I'm overwhelmed with this lovely message. Princess Gildov, love can be sweet when there is an understanding, patience, good communication from both sides. Oyinye, thank you, Pastor. One of the major problems in marriage is lack of communication. This teaching is a total deliverance for families. God bless you. Felix Efe, I think people should not understand this message the other way around because most Nigerian women think it's only money that is the exchange for love. George Ademoyes, love is give and take. Stinginess in love kills the love. Felix says, love requires deep understanding. Christina said, a lot of agreements have to be made before marriage. Daniela Dorcas, the love of God must be in the center of my relationship. I was broken and thought a man will love me to the extent of putting all the pieces together, just like the woman in John 4. When I got born again, the love of God filled my heart. The man I am with now is the happiest man on the earth. Wow. Daniel Oshomba, women should know that men can hide their feelings. So try to learn your husband in and out, study your husband in and out, know the best time to relate to him. Olusegun Akinde said, this teaching is a deliverance from the way we view love and expect to be treated when you are in love. Adewale Oyabumi said, thank you, Pastor, and God bless you. You decided to talk about God in different ways because God is love and love is God. Once you are intimate with God, expression of love will be simple. Yep. Adewale Oyabumi said, thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody. It was nice to be with you. I will be back tonight with that exceptional program with my guest in the house talking about only God can save Nigeria. What a myth. Blessings. Have a wonderful day.